Hello, ladies and gentlemen and gentlemen and gentle ladies. I'm your lovely host, Maya Rothwell, and you are watching or listening to the Fly Girls podcast on all streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. If you want to see me and my lovely outfit, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing my Rothwell's Room blazer. And for everyone who has been watching my TikTok lives, the shell bag, I said it was finished, but I keep adding things and yeah. I'm a perfectionist, so I keep adding and I just need to do some little adjustments like remove some threads and stuff. But yeah, the story behind this shell bag was my pillow set on fire. I had a candle in my old apartment. I lit a candle next to my bed, fell asleep. And I know you shouldn't fall asleep with candles, but I did. Won't be falling asleep with candles near my bed again. And then my pillowcase set on fire. So I had so many shells that I just collected from all over the world. Mauritius, Dubai, from everywhere. Apparently in some places it's illegal. So yeah, I didn't illegally collect any shells before the shell police come for me. And then I ended up making this bag. So I cut the pillowcase into pieces. Obviously I discarded the burnt bit after I distinguished the fire. And yeah, so then came this shell bag. And thank you for all the love and support on all the pieces. I really, really appreciate it. And can't wait to show you what is in store. Let's get straight into the podcast, guys. I do promise that I am going to try to be more consistent. I am trying to do my best to have 1 or 2 days of the month where I just batch record and then I can do episodes weekly every Tuesday. That was my plan. However, you know, editing takes time by the time my editor gets back to me. So yeah, I'm just in the groove of figuring out how I can be more consistent for you guys because I really do appreciate and love all of your support so far. Episode 12. Is this episode 12? Let me check. I've got lots of good episodes in store for you guys. 2025, we're leaving the dusties behind. And I actually don't like my hair like this. I'm going to change it. I thought I'd have my hair like this. I tried to do a Priscilla Presley inspired look. And yeah, I don't like it. I feel like when you have curly hair, your look completely changes when you straighten it. So yeah, I don't like it. So I don't know. It's okay, but it's just not me. It's not my style. So yeah, next episode, I'll have my curly hair. So today's episode, episode 12, is about getting your ducks in a row. And this will link to my very first episode that I ever posted for this podcast, which was episode 1. If you want to go and watch it, I'll put it in the link in the bio. And the title was Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are not coming to collect you from Tape and Libertine. And I basically say in that video why Elon Musk and Jeffrey Bezos will not come and collect you from Tape and Libertine, and why you need to have your own and why you need to have your ducks in a row. And to be honest, this podcast, every episode will basically be about getting your ducks in a row, leveling up in life. I am not the one who's going to tell you to get a rich man, find a rich man, get a provider man, find an uncle, granddad. No. Get your own ducks in a row. Get it for yourself. Don't rely on anyone. Don't rely on no man, no uncle, no granddad, unless it is your own uncle by blood, your own granddad by blood, and your own dad by blood. Don't be relying on no heifers to give you a certain lifestyle. Listen, I'm not bashing anyone who does live a certain lifestyle. By the way, in case you don't think these black leather jeans go with this blazer, yeah, I didn't think my whole outfit would be in it. But oops daisy, hopefully doesn't clash too much. I love all of these people on social media. I love the Shiri Sevens. I love the Wizard Lizzies. I love all the content now that's coming out about, you know, knowing your self-worth, leveling up, women, you know, knowing that they have power and that they have a choice who they entertain. However, I don't agree with this whole finesse culture, you know, rich guys this, rich guys that, provider. A provider is not necessarily someone who's rich. You can meet a billionaire who's stingy, Mr. Stingy Dusty, and he will leave you in the desert without water and sell your kidney whilst you're at it. So it's not about a man who's rich. It's about a man who is kind, who's generous, who actually cares about you, who will take care of you when you're sick. One of my friends actually said this to me. One of my friends, she got married, and I was asking her about it. And she said she was praying in Ramadan, praying tahajjud, etc. Within a few months, she met her partner, got married. And I have a lot of friends who are in successful relationships. God bless them and God bless their relationships. And yeah, and she said to me, the one who got married within 3 months span of meeting him basically through a friend, she said to me basically, pray, and you just can't entertain these dusty guys. You have to know your self-worth, which is what this episode will be about, basically. Yeah, I feel like there's such a big, huge controversy. And even some boys have commented on some of my videos on TikTok, like, oh, you're obsessed with the dusties, be kind, be kind. And it's like, if you're offended, clearly then there's something dusty about you to be offended. No, for me, I wouldn't be offended by something that I'm not. So if you feel like you resonate with the dusty deeds and actions, then change. You can change. I forgot to bring my book, but I read a really good book. And that book that I've been speaking about in the last few episodes, I can't remember the name now. I just finished another book, What a Time to Be Alone. Really, really good. By the Slum Flower. She's got a good podcast as well. Amazing author. I read that within an hour, 2 hours. It was an amazing read, really easy to read. I'll bring it next time to show you the quotes in it. My third book I'm on is a more religious book. It has some research about religion and the author's opinions on religion, called Secrets of Divine Love, but I forgot to bring them. The book, The Courage to Be Disliked, I remember now, The Courage to Be Disliked completely changed my mindset. That book changed my mindset on people changing. I used to be quite rigid in my thinking and thought people can't change unless they want to within themselves. It takes a long time to change. Because when you realistically think about it, how long does it take to change yourself? How hard is it to change yourself? Whether that's eating healthy, going to the gym. It's so hard to implement good habits and healthy habits or change your lifestyle or change anything about yourself, whatever that may be, within yourself. So my outlook was, I had this conversation with one of my friend's sisters years ago, who is a teacher and basically had this same viewpoint, which is why I had the same viewpoint, because she told me in the discussion, this is what she was saying, and I agreed. And that's just the viewpoint and stance that I took. So yeah, from then, I didn't really believe that people changed. And through experience as well, I've seen a lot of people, you know, when you see people who are just stuck and they stay in their same ways, years go by, they don't change. And because I saw that and witnessed that, I just thought, yeah, people don't change and they're happy to stay where they are, which is there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're happy. But when it affects other people and it affects yourself and you know, you're self-aware and you know, then yeah, something has to be done about it. And you're the only person that can implement that change, I'm afraid. Step by step, brick by brick. That's why I love the book Atomic Habits. That's a really good book as well, just about habits, building healthy habits, habit stacking. Highly recommend that book. It really helped me. That book encouraged me to, it's not a language book, but it encouraged me to, you know, practice more of my languages and become more fluent, alhamdulillah, which my languages have improved a lot actually now. Okay guys, I've rambled on a bit actually. I haven't even started the PowerPoint. I forgot my laptop, so I've got my PowerPoint on my phone. Let's go into this lovely deck of cards, shall we? The lovely staff at KLM gave me this deck of cards when I did the Edinburgh event, the Edinburgh Restart. That was really nice. Really, really nice of them, bless them. So sweet. So thank you, staff at KLM, for giving me these. Super, super cute. They gave me lots of like cookies and gifts. They gave me like a little gift bag. It was so cute. Okay, what is your most important lesson in life? My most important lesson in life, I would say, is just have faith in Allah. You know, trust God. What's written for you is written for you. And perhaps what's written for you is better than what you can even imagine. There's no point in stressing, you know, the past, the present, the future, and you cannot do anything about it. Focus on the now. That's the only thing you can focus on, the now. Best time was yesterday. Next best time is now. No, I can't remember what the quote is. But yeah, honestly, tomorrow's a new day. But what can you do today to improve, to get close to your goals? Also, guys, a bit of a creepy, don't want to scare anyone, but I saw a video and it was like this, what are they? Psychic, medium? Like, I don't know. She's a spiritual person, which I personally would never go to. It's very much against my beliefs and religion to go to psychics and mediums. It's not something I would ever do. I don't believe in any of that stuff. I don't do tarot. I'm not saying it's not real. I do think it's completely real, but I just don't think it's really our business to talk to the afterlife or interfere with, you know, spirits and stuff. But I mean, if that's their destiny, that's their destiny. I'm not one to judge at all. I'm no one to judge. But yeah, this like spiritual lady, let's call her spiritual lady. I think her name's Sloane. She was talking about vision boards and she was advising her followers against vision boards, saying not to do that and saying that these like demonic and evil things, they can see that. Don't want to scare anyone. I only believe what's written in the holy book, in the Quran. So for me, whatever's written in the book is written in the book, which we do have. We have jinns and we have the shaitan, we have the devil. So, but only God knows. So that changed my outlook on vision boards, because I was very much for, visual learning, having a picture of your goal, working towards it. Perhaps you can still have it, I just tucked mine under my bed after seeing that, perhaps don't have it out on display. Yeah, sorry if that sounds crazy, but I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Obviously, still write down your thoughts in a diary. I think that's very healthy to do. But I think my best way of regulating my emotions is just getting out of the house and getting out of bed. Because yesterday, I literally deleted someone just because I was sitting in bed, and and yeah, I got annoyed and just deleted them. When I've done this before. This is a thing I'll explain later. This will link later into the episode. Your intuition is never wrong. So I don't regret it, because my intuition was telling me to remove this person from my life. And I felt a sense of release. And I kept praying for a sign, which I got. I got 2-3 signs. One of the signs was a friend telling me information about this person, which this is why I felt guilty the day afterwards. Because I thought, is it fair to make a judgment about someone based on what someone else has said, who I don't know them that well? However, I have made a judgment similar to this before, similar kind of situation where I've removed the person from my life, and it was the right choice and the right judgment, and everything's fine with that person, still friends with them, wish them the best to this day, don't wish harm on anyone, but they just, they're better off out of my life. We're still friends, we're still okay, if they ever needed anything, they know I'm here. I had the same kind of situation, and I've had a lot of situations like this where I don't know if it's with age or, I've just kind of opened my eyes and realized who's real, who's not, who's fake, who has genuine intentions. But to do that and realize who your true friends are and who really cares about you. And one of the people I actually distance myself, actually told me this, you kind of have to distance yourself, remove yourself from the equation, from, just mind your own, focus on yourself, just be in your own company, be alone, learn to love being alone. I always speak about this on my episodes. And I did. For a few months, I kind of have been recluse, just alone, Pilates, health. For me, on my days off, my focus and my main priority is my health, my wealth, and my peace. If it's not adding to my peace, my health, my wealth, then no, it's a no from me. I'm not interested. I've said this before, not interested in clubbing, not interested in drinking, not interested in any tomfoolery. Invite me to Pilates, I'll go. Invite me for nice food, I'll go. Invite me for chin wag, I'll go. But I just came to a realization, and I did a TikTok video about this, things I'll not be doing in 2025. Yeah, when you actually open your eyes and realize who is actually there for you, the people you do everything for and you would, drop everything for and run to help them, would they do the same for you? And I don't like to think of friendships in that way, because I just think friendships shouldn't be transactional. They should not be transactional. But unfortunately, since I moved to Dubai, my eyes were pried open, and I realized, a lot of people who claimed to be my friend were not. And in actuality, they were the drama and they were the problem. Not saying that I am free from any drama or any problems, I'm very quick to cut people off. I don't know, has anyone else had this realization? My first theory was the prefrontal cortex, which I spoke about in another episode, developing. I thought, okay, my brain's developed now. I can see clearly now. The dusties have gone. Perhaps my brain has just developed. My eyes are opened. Eric, I did a podcast episode with him before. Eric, he said, you'll realize this, how long you lived in Dubai? And I was nearly 3 years in April. He's lived in Dubai longer than I have. And I do think it's Dubai, and I do think it's, big cities, London, Paris, etc. Wherever you live, that's a big city. Because I don't have this problem in the village where I'm from. When I go back to the village and see my friends from school, who I'm still friends with to this day, I don't have this issue at all, I feel like the effort is reciprocated. However, in Dubai, I just felt like, not just necessarily people in Dubai, people from England who were still ringing me and messaging me in Dubai. And it wasn't genuine. It wasn't a genuine interaction. It was transactional. You know, like they just wanted me for tickets. They wanted me because it benefited their life. And this is what I spoke about in the TikTok. And no, I'm done. I'm so done with users and leeches. It's just boring. It's draining. You know, these professional vampires. Are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? Does it not get to a point where you don't feel like you're leeching off someone? I'm just so stubborn to ask and beg people for things. I'm so sorry. I am the opposite of codependent. I hate relying on people. I hate depending on people. So I don't know how people are so cheeky and audacious, you know? Anyways, let's actually get into the episode that I wanted to talk about. Wise beyond our years. Have we normalized being dense? Everyone says to me, I remember one person commented on my YouTube, Maya, you're wise beyond your years. And it was a really lovely comment. And a lot of people say this to me, like, oh, you're so mature, this is this. But am I like, is it not normal to have your head screwed on? Is it not normal to want to have your life together and to not want to just be stuck in the same boring cycle? Like by the time I was 20, I was just so over this tomfoolery. I'm so sorry. Like when you're in university, when you're at the age, you know, 18, 19, 20, okay, hee, ha, ha, it's a good laugh and giggle, whatever, you have fun. And when I say fun, I'm not talking about anything crazy. You know, it could be going out, could be going on holidays, traveling, whatever you want to do at that age, whatever you think that you want in life. It could be materialistic things. Then you realize when you get them, oh, actually, that's not what brings you happiness, you know? Don't you get to a point where it just gets boring? You know, the same people, the same face, the Tape and Libertine Warriors. Are you not bored? Are you actually not bored? Like, uncle, go home. Go home. How can you be a big, listen, I don't want to judge, don't want to be mean and judge anyone, but it just kind of scares me when you see and hear about uncle-aged individuals in the club. I'm sorry, what are you doing in the club, sir? Go home to your kids and wife, if you have any, or find one. Make a kid. Like, it's just scary. Do you not get bored? Like, most of my close friends are bored. And to be honest, like in England, there is a huge drinking culture. So by the time you are in your early 20s, you are bored. I think for females anyway. I can't speak for the whole demographic of women, but I don't know. Is it not boring? Are you not bored? And I don't want to judge, but when I see others just all the time, outside, are you not bored? Are you not cold on those streets? Is it not cold? You know, go home. It's okay to be home. But then again, I am a hypocrite because now I do want to get out the house more. Like I do go to Pilates, but other than that, I don't really leave the house. And, you know, if I ever want to have children one day, I kind of have to find a husband from somewhere. Can't just be from thin air or the postman to come to my house. Right now, I'm in a phase where I'm just a homebody. Well, to be honest, I've always been a homebody. I was only not a homebody when I was at my parents' house, when I was, you know, in my rebellion phase, teenage phase, and I wanted to rebel against my parents, you know, run around in Skegness, eating donuts and chips and being barbaric. But now, can't think of anything worse than just running around, doing nothing, purposeless. No? That's me anyway. I'm not judging anyone who does. You know, it's so strange not seeing yourself on camera. Like, you can see yourself in the beginning on the iPad, but like normally on shoots, you can see yourself on the monitor and adjust. But with a podcast, if you don't look cute, if you don't look cute, you don't look cute. What to do? So yeah, the expectation of maturity. Yeah, is it not normal to be mature when your brain is fully developed? I don't get it. And sometimes I'm shocked. Sometimes, listen, I don't want to go into specific details. Like let's say there's someone and you're in a group scenario and I thought that person was, you know, was early 20s, very young by the way they're behaving. Then I'll ask their comrade or my comrade, oh, how old are they? Oh, 30. And I'm like, what? I thought they was younger than me acting like that. Not saying they're acting bad, you know, live your life, live however you want to live your life. But some people just do not know how to behave. And it's like no concept of inside voice, no concept of, I don't know, maybe I'm just, am I an introvert? Am I like, one of my Somali friends did say to me that I'm really self-reserved, but I don't think I am. Like, I do talk to people and I do enjoy being around people. I just get very irritated. I think I just get overstimulated very easily. And I just can't be around too much crazy bouncing off the wall energy all the time. And this is the dangerous thing about being alone all the time. You just love your own company so much, you get to a point where you can't really, you're very sensitive to other people and how other people behave and act, and you won't just go anywhere with anyone, like a stray cat on the street. No. So yeah, have we normalized being clueless as fully functioning adults, or do people just pretend? I don't know. Sometimes I think, is that really how you behave? I don't know. But I will never say to someone, is that how you behave? Because I'm not a nasty person, I'll just extract myself from the equation, The next point I'm going to talk about is generational shifts in responsibility. So I was having this conversation with my friends, had a roast dinner at Duck Hook. Love roast dinners at Duck Hook. Oh my goodness, I love a roast dinner. Yes, I live in Dubai, but you can take the girl out of Yorkshire, but you can't take the Yorkshire out of the girl. I was originally born in Yorkshire. I was born in Sheffield, Worksop. I was born in Worksop Hospital, which is Sheffield, no? Just outside Sheffield. I don't know. I was a baby. I used to go back there, but, I was raised in Lincolnshire for my education, did live in Egypt on and off. And it is different there. Anyone who's from a small village will know everyone does things very young, settled, have a baby, get married young. You see the pictures on Facebook. I don't use Facebook, but boy, when you scroll on Facebook, that's all it is. Baby scanned pictures. Oh, house with the keys like this and the picture. And I'm happy for them. I'm very happy for them. But don't feel any type of way if you're not having babies and house young, because who defined young? Guys, we're very young. I'm 25. Don't let people make you feel old. I definitely felt young when I came to Dubai. I still feel young. But when I lived in England, I felt old. When I lived in England, I was 21 and I felt old. What is that? Because I think perhaps it's social media subconsciously, even though I say that I don't really care about social media. But perhaps then, because everyone around me was, in relationships, settling down, having children, perhaps I thought I was behind, even though I wasn't, even though I was doing very well when I was modeling. I basically had everything that I wanted in life, had a very nice work-life balance. But I loved modeling, don't get me wrong, but in England, I just felt like it was bad vibes. I started to resent England, started to hate it. And yeah, I just felt like a lost soul in England. And it wasn't the people. I love all my friends to this day, love them, love going home, seeing everyone and spending time with them. Hopefully, inshallah, hopefully, God willing, we can actually plan more things on holidays. That's one thing I want to do more. Holidays, why is it so hard? Guys, I'm 25 years old. Why is it so hard to book a holiday? Is it a girl thing? Because I see boys go on holiday like that. For a boy to go on holiday, all they have to say is, do you want to go on holiday? Do you want to go on holiday to their friends? You see them on holiday. You see them in Greece. You see them in Mykonos. You see them in anywhere in Ibiza. And that's not really my scene, Ibiza, Mykonos, whatever. The party scene is not my scene. So for me, I'd have to go on holiday with people who are like me and, homebody, chill, Pilates, health vibe. None of this party. Can't do it. But it's so hard. I've only managed to go on one holiday with one of my good friends, Luciana. How's it possible I've been on one holiday with my friend in the past 3 years? How is that actually possible? And obviously my job, I travel, so I do see the world. But a holiday is very different. Holiday is very, very different than a layover. You can't compare. You cannot compare, a week holiday, 2 week holiday, 2-3 day trip or layover, sometimes even 24 hours. For me, work layovers are for rest. My rest is the most important. My health is the most important. When you're on holiday, you have time to explore. You have time to do things, But yeah, so part of the conversation, sorry, I went off topic. Part of the conversation with my friends the other day at the roast dinner was they were saying how young their mums were. They both said to me that when they was born, their mum was 19. For me, it was the opposite. My mum tells me to only have kids 30 plus, wait until your 30s, which I agree with now. Now I agree. I used to want to have kids really young. Now I'm the opposite. I would get married young, but not kids young. 30 is still young though, don't get me wrong. But to start having children, yeah, I agree with my mum. One of the other girls said that I can't remember if she said her auntie or someone in her family had their child when they was 14. 14. And obviously, when we look back at our grandparents or great-grandparents' generation, it was normal back in the day to have... Okay, I'm talking, guys, my dad he would have been in his nearly 90 now. But so when I say my grandparents and my parents, obviously, maybe your parents are young. So obviously your dads probably are not 90, 100 million years old. But back in the day, what I'm trying to say is medicine wasn't as advanced. You'd have kids because basically you'd have multiple kids because you wouldn't know the chances of survival of all of them. And that's the sad reality. However, now that is not the case. Thank God, alhamdulillah, we've come a long way in medicine and in science that we don't have to have multiple kids just to ensure the survival of one. So I think there should be less pressure, even though people do still try to hold women at this standard of you're expired when you're 30. No, you're not. I saw Michelle Keegan the other day someone did a video about Michelle Keegan. She's having her first baby. She's pregnant now. Congratulations to her and Mark, bless them. Gorgeous, gorgeous woman, Michelle Keegan. I remember when I used to watch Coronation Street, gorgeous lady. And yeah, she's 37, her first baby. So don't let anyone, and it's the Dusties trying to put this expiration date on you. I know so many people who they met their soulmate and got married at the age of like 47, moved in at 47, 40s, 50s, and they wouldn't have changed it for a thing. They wouldn't go back in time and change a thing. Because what's written is written, and don't settle for a Dusty just because you want to have kids. If you're really concerned about that, then there's so many options. You know, there's IVF, there's adoption, there's obviously go with what's you think is the most ethical, and because some religions don't agree with adoption and etc., etc. But there's so many things. There's medicine, you know, because I have PCOS, and I remember my doctor telling me like, don't even worry. And she showed me the percentages of people with pregnancies with PCOS with the medicine. And she's like, people who have PCOS, they can have children. And I can't remember the name. It was a medicine beginning with M. I do know one of my friends who took that medication. She did get pregnant, who also has PCOS. Like, don't worry. I know it's scary if you have endometriosis or PCOS, but, you know, it's 2025. Obviously, take care of your health. You know, I'm not saying to not take care of your health and your body, because that's a completely different story. You need to take care of yourself. Have you seen, guys, on TikTok, I've been seeing that a lot of the woman's pregnancy is to do with the man, and that the man has to be in his best physical shape also prior to conceiving, which obviously makes sense. But before that, I think most of us just thought it was on the woman. But no, apparently a lot of things like morning sickness, I can't quote anything, so don't quote me on this, but there was scientific studies on this. And a lot of people's morning sickness was down to the man's, you know, lifestyle. Don't go into details, but yeah, so it's on both partners to be in their best health. Yeah, I did contemplate freezing my eggs, and I'm still contemplating it, to be honest. I don't know what's stopping me. Honestly, I don't know what's stopping me just from going to the doctors and just inquiring about it. I think it's scary because obviously it's not just a process where you sit in a freezer and your eggs plop out and are frozen. No, it's a whole incision thing, injection thing. I don't know too much about it. I'm really squeamish when it comes to injections. I don't know why. I've had medical cases where their blood was all over me, all over my uniform, all over my hands. And it doesn't bother me. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm not squeamish when it comes to like real life situations and you have to help someone, you know, at work or whatever. And, you know, because we're medically trained, we have like training for these kinds of things. It doesn't bother me at all. But like when I watch it on TV, when I have injections, I don't like it. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. What's your thoughts on freezing your eggs? How is the process? Is it horrible? Is it scary? Is it hard? And also, if you freeze your eggs, what happens if you conceive just normally with your partner? Do you just keep the eggs for a later date? Because I feel like I just hate wasting. Like, does it feel like a waste? I don't know. I need to educate myself more on that, to be honest, and talk to more people who've gone through the process of freezing their eggs. Let me know, guys, about the process of freezing your eggs. If you've gone through that, comment down below. To summarize that point, I understand why our parents and grandparents, they might expect children. Thank God my mum doesn't expect that. But obviously other people's parents, like my friends' parents and grandparents, they kind of want a baby and grandchildren, you know. But don't do that. If you are a mum or grandma, don't push your children to have kids. Come on, not with the wrong person anyway. Let them be ready. Only God knows when they're ready. Only they know when they're ready. And the time will happen when the time is right. Also, although I do agree with the timelines shifting, you know, we don't have as much child mortality rates now, like I said before, there is a lack of people in my generation being switched on and kind of they use excuses, but this, but that. But no, because I'm ever so sorry, in this economy, especially in the UK, no. Especially in the UK, oh my goodness, after Brexit, after all of this malarkey, no. You should be saving, and which I have a video on saving. By the time you watch this, the video will be saving, probably episode 10 or 11 will be out by now. But especially in this economy and this, you know, in this economic climate, you should be even more concerned, no? You should be thinking of how you're going to get your life together. Yes, have fun when you're young. I'm not saying if you're 14 watching this, if you're 18, you know, save, get a mortgage. No, not at all. But I feel like once everyone else around you, you don't have to conform to society and when everyone else is getting a house and having babies. No, not necessarily. Your path is your path and your goals are your goals. However, if you're not achieving anything and years have gone by, I think you need to sit back down to the drawing board and reevaluate and take action, because it gets to a point where you will be jealous of your friends. And I've seen it, like I've seen people who they act weird when everyone else was buying houses and, you know, settling down. And it's not even about partners or kids, but I've seen it with some of my own friends. I'm not going to lie. I've seen people, you know, act strange. I remember one girl said to me, oh, but you're not in a position to buy now. So like she was trying to make me stay in my old apartment that I was renting, which I didn't want to stay there. Like I didn't want to stay there. I knew it was only going to be short term. Like for me, I'm not a long-term renter. If I rent, it's for 1 year maximum. I don't like, if I'm renting, I'm not going to rent for years and years. No, 1 year, halas, done. No. And I told my other friend and she was like, Billah, that's like really weird. And they said other things, and I don't want to go into detail out of respect for them because it'll just be too obvious who it is. And yeah, so yeah, when the cracks start to show, don't be jealous of your friends, because no one put a gun to your head and told you not to save and spend your money and put nonsense on your credit card. No one held a gun to your head. No one forced you to do that. And when you're looking at all of your friends and you're thinking, oh, we all have the same salary, how are they getting mortgages and houses for 1 mil, 1.5 mil, and I'm sat doing nothing? No one told you to do that. And I know everyone has external circumstances. I know everyone has things going on in their life. And I remember everyone was coming for me when I posted a TikTok video about having a car, like telling people why you should have a car, because it just gives you independence. I'm sorry, but it really does. Obviously, if you don't need a car, don't. If you live next to a train station, you have frequent trains. That wasn't the case for me. For me, where I'm from, 16, 17, your mind is focused on a car, saving for a car, the driving test, the theory test, studying for the theory, passing your driving test, getting a part-time job when you're in your A-levels or college, whatever, to pay for that car, to pay for insurance. It was just normal. Because if you didn't, you couldn't get a job. If you couldn't get a job, then you didn't really have a life. And yeah, no, for me, there was no other choice. For me, yeah, having a car was having freedom. And for a lot of people, if you don't have a car and you need freedom, that is the first step. Ocean and I discussed this on the other episode, on one of the previous episodes, how getting a car, like you can get a car, then get a house. I used to think the opposite. I used to think, no, save to get a house, then get a car. No, because I already had cars in England, but when I came to Dubai, obviously I started fresh. And I just didn't. I was like, no, because if I wait forever, it's just, no, I just felt like I had no freedom, especially when you go from having so much freedom to, you know, and there's nothing wrong with taking taxis and Ubers, whatever. But I just wasn't leaving the house as much. I was lazy. Now with my car, I get things done. I'm so much more productive. That might not be the case for everyone. I know people who are productive taking the bus or the train, but yeah, for me, that's not the case. For me, no. But I'm not judging. Whatever works for you, what works for you. I know it's expensive. What a lot of people are saying in the comments as well is, oh, it just keeps going up, it keeps going up, and inflation. And listen, inflation, it's been going up and it's only going to keep going up. I'm sorry to say that. The prices of real estate are only going to keep going up. Don't know why everyone in Dubai has like deluded themselves that the real estate market is going to crash and be 1 dirham to buy a house. some people in Dubai have this thought process of, oh, the market's going to crash. Okay, even if it does crash, it's not going to be 1p to buy a villa in Emirates Hills, is it? Sorry, like it's still going to cost something. Even in COVID, it went down, but I don't know, guys. For me, my views on the real estate market in Dubai is completely different to the one in England. For me, Dubai compared to London is cheap. Can I just say that? Obviously, it depends where you are. You know, if you're on the Palm, if you're in JVC, big difference. Silicon, big difference, you know? Yeah, like my old apartment, obviously rent prices was very cheap last year in Dubai, in my experience anyway. My old apartment was 48k, which is, for the year, which is 48,000 dirham, guys, is 10,535 Great British pounds sterling. And that was for a really nice, modern, stylish, one-bedroom apartment, gorgeous kitchen. You might have seen my old TikToks in my old apartment. You know, stylish, bright, pool view, ensuite bathroom, guest bathroom, gorgeous, mashallah, alhamdulillah, gorgeous. Like, the only reason I moved from there was because of the location and because I get bored. I can't stay in the same place when I know there's better out there. Sorry. I'm bougie, as the Dusties would like to say. And I have too much stuff, just have too much stuff. I need more storage. Like, I'm just a woman who has too many things, too many clothes. So, yeah, even though I'm in the process of getting rid of things and I'm trying to not be a slave to consumerism this year, which I speak about in my other video, save your shillings. I'll link it down below. And yeah, okay, sorry, I keep going off topic, guys. My sister, who is at university, she's paying for her tiny little place in London, way more than that. I think it's like 13 grand for the year. I think, no, more than that. I can't remember, but it's more, like ridiculously more. And I thought my uni accommodation was expensive. My first year when I lived in Tottenham, when I was in university halls, was probably like 12 something grand. And guys, when I say, and some people might think that's cheap, guys, it's absolutely shambolic. It should be illegal university accommodation. It's like a tiny little box this big, tiny little shower, ensuite. It is diabolical. My sister's place in London is actually decent. I said to her, no, this is actually like nice, way nicer than mine. My flatmates, when I lived in Tottenham, like, you have your own room, but you share a kitchen. Oh, disgusting, absolutely disgusting. There was maggots. There was flipping, I didn't see any, it was horrendous. And to be honest, that traumatized me from living with people. You really see people's true colours when you live with someone. Even if you have your own bedroom and you share a kitchen, oh my goodness gracious me. That's why I love to be a lone wolf. I'm so sorry, but the next person I live with, it can only be my husband. It can only be my husband and my kids, because I cannot tolerate. It just makes things awkward. It ruins friendships, I think. Like, you have to have a really solid foundation of friendship. You really see who people are when you live with someone. I know it's not possible for everyone to live alone. I understand that. But yeah, be careful. Only moving with someone you know you can tolerate the diabolical stuff. Or, I mean, maybe I could live with someone who is like exactly like me. You know, keeps to themselves, minds their business, doesn't chat to guys. Because, you know, when people bring guys and, oh, no. I don't like this haram behavior. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm not involved. Don't like seeing it. Don't like hearing it. Don't want to know. Sorry. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say, guys. The cost of living is only going to go up. Inflation is only going to go up. So I know you might be scared to do something now, but in a few years' time, you're going to be kicking yourself. I'm saying to yourself, I wish I did it back then. Even me, you know, if I bought when I first moved to Dubai, oh my God, where I live now, if I bought when I wanted to buy a long time ago, I got scared. I got the pre-approval, got scared, backed out, didn't do it. Yeah, if I bought back then, guys, that property would be worth double now. And I have friends who did buy back then, and now the property's double. But it's okay. It's okay. I didn't kick myself in the teeth. You know, life goes on. I learned from that decision of being scared, and yeah, and I acted accordingly. And it's okay to be scared, just act accordingly. And sometimes these things are scary. It is scary to get a mortgage on your own. It is scary to invest alone. It is scary to do things alone. But just remember, it's for your future. Obviously, don't do things you can't afford. I always think it's better to invest in something smaller that you can manage and afford. In case anything goes wrong, you can sell it, or, you know, it's not going to be a hole in your pocket. to the extent of bankruptcy and, et cetera, et cetera. Disclaimer, I'm not an expert, just saying, I'm just giving my own personal opinion and advice. But yeah, I really think we need to bring back this old school mindset, old school mentality, because I'm sorry, it's actually too much. People are just very strange. People are very strange. But where I'm from, it's not like this. Everyone's very screwed on my age. It must be a city thing where people are just excited. They think they have so many options when they don't, in terms of relationships. They think the grass is greener. They don't really know how to behave, don't really have any manners. And when you see someone who does have manners and who's raised well, it's like, wow, it's like seeing an angel in front of you. But is it not the bare minimum? Should we not all have manners? Should we not all have respect for each other? Should we not all have basic common decency? I saw one girl on TikTok saying, I can't remember her name, I'll try to insert the video if I can find it. There's a balding theory. Apparently when men are starting to bald, they settle down. There's like I can't remember if it's like yellow light theory, I don't know, traffic light theory. There's a theory where men, they don't settle down for the love of their life, they just settle down for who's there. And a lot of people say that's true. Obviously, it's not the case for everyone. Cannot generalize all men in the same bracket, of course. There is a connection to balding. So apparently when men are balding, that's when they settle down for whoever's there. Like when their hairline is starting to swim away and turkey's calling their name, apparently that's when they settle down for whoever's there. Yeah, they'll marry you. And that's that. And that actually seems very accurate. Of course, there's anomalies. Some of my friends' dads are bald and single. Some of them are married. So, of course, there are exceptions to the rule. And then there's also men who are still have a full head of hair who are still players. I mean, my dad had a full head of hair till he died. So, I don't know. That rule doesn't apply to him. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think it's true? Because I feel like there's a lot of bald men on the loose running around acting like teenagers and not serious. And it's very scary. Oh, I deleted all the dating apps, by the way, guys. I deleted all the dating apps. I can't do it. I thought, okay, let me get back on the dating pool. My friend who's a therapist, I said this on the episode with Tam. My friend said to me, just go on the dating apps because I don't leave the house. I'm not in any social interactions where I would meet anyone or where anyone can approach me, really. So yeah, not a good idea. Absolutely scary, scary place. Deleted them very quickly. And yeah, I thought I was ready to get back in the dating pool. No, I'm not. I'm actually not. At this point, I'm just going to have to pray very hard and hope my husband comes and collects me from my doorstep because yeah, these guys are scary. And you know what it is? I just wanted to ease myself into men again because I know how to talk to someone in a friendly way, but I'm kind of because I've not really interacted with men in a flirty way in so long. And I'm very strict, to be honest. I'm very strict and no. And I have lots of rules and, it has to be this way and this way, which makes it harder. Obviously, if you're religious, it's automatically harder because not many people are serious, especially when you're young. Yeah, it's not really naughty people. Yeah, that's all I was saying. Don't fall for, I can't remember what the point of that was, but don't fall for people who are, like the uncles I was talking about earlier. If you're a young girl, late teens, early 20s, don't fall for these uncles. If no one's taking them seriously at their big age or they can't take someone serious at their big age, there's a reason. And even if he does say he doesn't have a wife and kids, he's probably lying, which leads me to my next point, which is I've just seen so much dealing with a man who's spoken for. Don't deal with married men. I don't care if his name's David Beckham. Don't be dealing with married men. There's so many men in this world. I'm so sorry, but it takes two to tango. You are part of the problem if you are engaging with a married man, if you're dealing with a man who's spoken for. Don't believe these guys when they say they're separated. Yeah, very convenient how everyone is separated, everyone is divorcing. No, if they're really meant for you, okay, wish you all the best with your divorce. Talk to me when you're divorced. Because he ain't going nowhere. He probably lives in the same house. So many people say, oh yeah, we separate, we don't live in the house, and they live in the same house. Or they're probably even cheeky and will take you to that house when the wife and kids is on holiday. Don't fall for this nonsense. I was guilty. To be honest, I was guilty. Even when I was in school, I'd be looking at the boys in sixth form, thinking that they're cute and stuff. But no, when I look back anyways, what business do men in their 30s have with late teens, early 20s? I'm so sorry. I don't care if you're of age, of legal age. It's creepy. It's actually creepy. Obviously, I feel like past a certain point, there was a big age gap between my parents, so I cannot be a hypocrite and say, oh no, you can't date someone older than you. Else I wouldn't be born if that was the case. But my parents was both adults. My mum was in her 30s. My dad was in his 60s. They're both adults. I feel like once you're 30, then it's like, okay, you're an adult, your brain is fully developed, your body's fully developed. But if you're 18 and a guy who's late 20s, early 30s is interested in you, that you should be concerned, darling. I tried to say this to my friend who, thank goodness, she's with a lovely guy her own age now, which I don't even like guys my own age. But I remember one time she was involved with this guy who was in his 30s and she was 18, barely 18. And I tried to explain to her how, that is a bit concerning. She's like, no, but I'm not a normal 18-year-old, because she's done very well for herself in life. She paid her parents' mortgage off. She had her own place at the time. Now she's got a place with her partner. But I was like, it doesn't matter what kind of 18-year-old you are. It's strange. It's very, very strange. No matter how mature, like, you may be or seem. Like, even when I was 18, people used to say to me, oh, you're so mature for your age. Like, since I was flipping out the womb, people were saying I was mature for my age. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. You cannot teach a fish how to climb a tree. Like, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. If a guy at his big grown age can only bamboozle young girls, there's a reason for that, because no one his age want him. And don't believe him when he says, oh no, girls my age, this is it. I've heard guys say themselves that they like younger girls because they're less experienced, they're easier to, they didn't say manipulate, but they said, something along the lines of less baggage, whatever, things to deal with. That's a you problem, darling. That is a you problem. I'm going to do another episode in detail on this, actually, because there's also a contrast. Why do the younger guys love the older girls? Like, I'm not saying that I'm old, I'm not, but young guys, like, from the dating apps, young guys was messaging me, like really young guys. And I'm like, confused.com. I don't know, perhaps because they like the chase and they want a challenge and to show off to their friends. So be wary of that, girls, if you're my age and, all the young boys are after you. I don't know. I don't know if part of that is a show-off thing. Obviously, it works for some. I know some people it's worked for them, but they're very mature, both of them. You cannot take a 20-year-old from tape and expect him to be the father of your... I don't know, guys. I don't want to... it works for some. I'm sorry, a guy's brain is not developed at the age of 20, 21. And women mature at a quicker rate than men do, which is fine. It's okay in a humorous sense. And, you have a laugh, have fun, whatever. But then don't be confused when they lack emotional intelligence and basic common sense and communication skills, because it's scary. Scaryconfused.com. #Dusty. You know what I would love to see a shift in this society, which I'm not really making any bets on it. Yeah, just normalizing marriage, normalizing divorce with a prenup, of course, and post-nup, so that you can protect yourself. Because for me, I don't see anything wrong, obviously, with the religious ceremony. I don't see anything wrong with that because you're still married. The religious ceremony, you don't necessarily have to sign the civil marriage. You don't have to be, legally married. For me, I don't care about that. For me, the religious ceremony, the religious wedding, and if it doesn't work out, halas, bye. I don't see, why is everyone so scared of committing to people? It's weird. And I know I'm a hypocrite. I know. And I'll talk about it in my next episode about ghosting and stuff, because I am the biggest ghoster. And I have asked myself before, am I scared of commitment? I just saw certain patterns within myself and I thought, am I the drama? Am I the problem? I most definitely wasn't the Dusty, but perhaps I did have commitment issues, and perhaps I'll go into further detail in the ghosting ep, okay? But yeah, there's literally no harm in doing things the proper way. And if it doesn't work, go separate ways. For me, like, the prenup, postnup is the protection for you guys and allocation of assets. And I remember watching a podcast with this divorce lawyer, and he said there was one prenup. I can't remember if it was a prenup or postnup. Can't remember now. It was a while ago. It was on Stephen Bartlett's podcast with the divorce lawyer. I can't remember if it was for every £1 or for every £10 the lady gained, she got a deduction in the money she would receive. And it was liable. It was liable. Can you believe it? Okay, guys, I feel like I could go on forever and forever. So I'm basically going to leave this for another episode because I've got so much here on these PowerPoints. So to summarize, getting your ducks in a row and what it really means: independence and having your own. It's not about luxury, it's about self-sufficiency. Step 1, like I said before, a car. Any car, doesn't have to be a Rolls Royce, Lamborghini Urus, can be a Toyota, can be a Mini, can be anything, just to get you on your feet, get you from A to B. And God forbid, get you out of a situation if you need to get out of a dusty situation. Step 2 of getting your ducks in a row, I would say, is having a roof over your head just for some sense of stability, whether that's your parents' house, whether that's you being able to afford your own place. Within reason, don't rent if you can't afford it. If it's better for you to save at your parents' house or rent with a friend, whatever is financially doable for you. But it is nice to have your own space and have your own independence and own freedom. It's really nice. Even though in the beginning it might be hard. I remember when I moved out, I was quite young. I was 18. I was like fresh 18-year-old. And I actually rung my mum and I was like, I'm so sorry. Because I didn't realize how much work went into living on your own. Never mind with kids and everything. My goodness, just like the laundry, the cleaning. Oh, I was shocked. Obviously now, thank God, alhamdulillah, I'm in a position where I have a cleaner. And honestly, adulting is not easy. But when you have your ducks in a row, adulting it's nice. But if you don't have your ducks in a row, it's stressful. And obviously all things in life can be stressful, but it's okay. I believe in you, boys and girls. You can get your ducks in a row. This is the year you're going to get your ducks in a row. Last but not least, your health can also be mental health, physical health. I feel like when you focus on your health as a whole, for example, going to the gym or going for a walk, etc., could be anything to do with your health, mental health, meditating, praying, journaling, anything to better yourself, reading books, your life just automatically falls into place. So this is your sign. If you've wanted to focus on your health, go to the gym, do it. Because for a lot of people, gym is therapy. For me, Pilates, oh my goodness, Pilates is a game changer. I don't even do gym anymore. But yeah, once you focus on your health, everything else in life just falls into place. And if you can't afford a gym membership, you can just go for a walk. You can walk your dog. YouTube is free. The same Wi-Fi you're using to watch this or data you're using to watch this. There's Pilates on YouTube, like mat Pilates. There's so many things you can do, workouts on YouTube. Yeah, the world is really your oyster. But yeah, that's it, guys. So before I leave you, just want to give you some quotes of the day. Self-worth. Know your worth. Don't sell yourself short for some temporary attention. This all ties back to self-love and independence. When you respect yourself, you don't need validation from a man who can't even commit. You should never feel like you're competing for a spot that isn't yours to begin with. Stop this side chick mentality. It's not cute. Why would you be someone's secret when you can be their priority? Stop letting these men make you feel like you're an option when you should be their only choice. Because I'm sorry, a man who's for everyone is a man for the streets and we don't want him and he's a dusty. And if a man is for everyone, then I don't want him. Everyone can have him. Not me, darling. We respect ourselves over here and we have self-worth. So yeah, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm not trying to be a footnote in someone's story. Let's write our own chapters. And on that note, thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment and subscribe. If you didn't, please feel free to comment feedback. Message the podcast at the Fly Girls Pod on Instagram. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a rating on the streaming platforms on Apple and Spotify. It will really help me boost the podcast and be more consistent and do more content for you guys. Love you all so much. Bye.